What's good, YouTube? It's me, Jaffe Bear. I'm coming back now. Finally, I'm gonna start making some videos. I'm gonna make at least once a week, if not once every 2 weeks. I bought some new equipment, so I do plan to make at least some decent content. Last year, I kind of lost interest. To make a video took me some time, and then on top of that, to edit took me even more time. But I do plan to give it my all this year, especially now that we're in quarantine. I have nothing to lose. So I'm home anyways. I'm gonna start back getting into YouTube with this video. It's a story time of how I almost died. So yeah, we'll get into it. In June, I wasn't feeling the best. It felt like almost like a flu, but at the same time, a flu doesn't last a month. So by the end of it, I was pretty much on the verge of pretty much dying. I was feeling real sick, like I had no energy. I was still going to work pretty much every day, and by the end of the shift, I was ready to pass out. My mom kept telling me to go to the hospital, but I kept brushing it to the side. I didn't think it was that serious, but clearly it was that serious. So yeah, like the day I knew it was serious, I woke up and I started coughing real bad, like the urge to spit. So I went to the washroom, and inside my loogie started to get graphic, but there was blood. And when I seen blood, I was like, okay, it's a little shocking, but I was tired, so I was just trying to go back to sleep. So I went back to sleep, and then I woke up like an hour or two later, and then every breath I took in, it would hurt. So I was like, okay, this is weird. I tried going back to sleep, I couldn't. I tried going back to sleep, still I couldn't. And then I just stayed up, did whatever I had to do during the day. That night I had a party to go to, so I got ready for the party, and at the party I was pretty much like dead. Like I didn't move, I laid down. I don't know why I went, but I was just trying to enjoy the summer. It was a stupid idea. So at the party, I was just laying down, doing nothing pretty much. I never really went away. And then I called my mom, I was like, okay, let's go to the hospital, now it's that serious. So we went, and in the hospital, they started doing some tests. They took a lot of blood from me. They said I would have been there for a day. I went to sleep, woke up the next morning. Again, they started doing more tests. They were taking blood out of me every couple hours. So then eventually, a whole team came in my room and started talking to me. That's when I knew, okay, maybe this is a little serious. And they started asking me a whole bunch of questions, like, what have you been doing, this and that. Answering anything I could, but they were still trying to figure stuff out. They ended up coming back again. They said, pretty much, you're not going. I was like, oh shit, like, okay. That's when it kicked in. Okay, this is serious. So they started doing more tests, all different kinds of tests, not even blood tests, just any other test you can think of. So then the next day after that, they finally came in my room, and that's when they're like, if anybody's gonna be in your room, you gotta like mask up and everything. I was like, oh wow, like it's that serious. Then my parents came into my room. They had to wear the whole gown, and pretty much what people in the hospital wear now for the coronavirus. And then a couple days or so later, they came back into my room, and that's when they told me my blood was infected. How even we're all confused, how you don't really know. It sucks because like even to try to avoid it, I can't, because like who knows what it was. So it is what it is. The reason why my lungs started hurting was because my blood was infected, and then because my blood was infected, it infected my tube in my heart, and that tube was connected to my lung. So bacteria was going to my lung and infected my lung. So that's why whenever I breathed in, it would hurt. They started doing more tests, and I have a heart condition. A tube in my heart is plastic. So that they went through my throat and they put a camera in, and pretty much they found out that that tube that they put in had like, it was pretty much caked up with bacteria. And they said pretty much if I didn't come in the time I came in, I would have died. Like that, it really hit me when they said that. So days go by, they're doing more tests, and at the same time, they're giving me needle shots. They're with the medication to fight the infection in the meantime, because now they're talking about doing a surgery to take out that valve. I always knew I had to have a surgery to remove the valve, but I didn't think it was gonna be this soon. Plus, every year they always told me that it was good, but it is what it is. A couple of days go by, they're doing more tests. They're trying to figure out if they need to do the surgery. Even my doctor, who seen me since I was a kid, came into my room and told me like, you're pretty much gonna have to do the surgery. You know, mentally, you're never ready for a surgery. Obviously, you have to do it. Every day goes by, I would be so scared, because it's a heart surgery. They take your heart, they put it on life support. They're doing whatever they gotta do. You know, hopefully you make it. And then eventually they find out that it was pretty bad and that they couldn't do anything. So they told me we're gonna have to remove it. Nothing I can say or do. So I just, held it down. And this is the part that really got to me. So they never gave me a date on when they were gonna do the surgery. So one day I'm sleeping. It was just me by myself in my room. My mom went home. My dad was at his place. One of the nurses came up to me and he's like, "Oh, Jaffe, wake up, wake up, wake up." I'm like, whoa. He's like, "Oh, they're gonna have the surgery today." I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" And the man's like, "Oh, you're gonna have a surgery. They have a room." I'm like, holy shit, like I'm by myself, thinking like, holy shit, I'm about to do a heart surgery by myself. Nobody's beside me to talk to, like, so I'm like, holy shit. So I'm just tripping out. Doctor comes up. While he's talking to me, my whole body's shaking. Like, I'm like shaking as if it's like -30 in the room. Pretty nervous. So he sees that I was nervous and he's like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like I couldn't control the shake. Like it was that bad. Well, we're trying to see if we can get you fit in. But if we can't, then we're gonna do the same thing tomorrow. I'm like, holy, like, at this point, just do it now if that's the case. But he couldn't do it. I was chilling, doing whatever I gotta do, just walking around, just trying to keep my mind clear, It's always good to have a good mindset going in, but, it's life. It's hard to do that. So the next day, same thing. Wakes me up, tells me the same thing. Like, they said again, they couldn't do it. And same thing the next day. And then finally on Friday, he's like, "You know what, we can't do it this week, but next week, Tuesday, we will do it." I was like, okay. So mentally I try to prepare myself, but it's hard to prepare yourself for something big like that. And then Monday kicks in. That's when it really sunk into my mind, like, hey, like I never had a surgery since I was 6 months old and I don't remember nothing. So this starts to really kick in now. I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and have an open heart surgery. Like this is gonna be crazy. So I go to sleep. Well, I tried to sleep, I should say. I couldn't sleep at all. I slept maybe at most 5 hours. That's how scared I was. So then the morning comes, they wake me up again, like the day. So like thinking back at it now it's a little, I gotta, whatever. It's hard to say, but so he wakes me up and then they told me to take a shower and they give me like some antibacterial soap and you gotta scrub your body like real good. Before that, they had to shave my chest. They should shave my, I think, arms, my legs, just so when I scrub and everything, there's no hair. So I washed my body real good. And then one of the guys I was cool with came to pick me up. The guy came, I was just talking to him. And that's when he's like, "Oh, like you're gonna go in, don't worry, you're gonna be good." So they take me to the room, and in the room there's it's like a whole bunch of people about to go into surgery. They're like all ages, like old, young, well, nothing younger than 19, but there's a whole bunch of ages. One of the nurses came and they had to put a needle in my arm. It was through the main artery, so that way during the surgery, if I wake up or anything, they can pump me with anesthesia, so then that way obviously I don't wake up. Plus they can monitor my heartbeat and everything, since my heart is not gonna be pumping by itself, so they gotta do a whole bunch of things. They numbed it and I can feel like almost as if it's like a water jet like squirting. So I'm looking down and I'm like, holy, like I see my blood just like literally like squirting out. Like it was like, I was like, holy, and the guy's like, "Oh, don't look." I'm like, it's hard for me not to look now. How can I not look? So then he finally got it in, he taped it up. And then that's when I was like, okay. So I tried to prepare myself again. I had my mom and then my mom's friend beside me. They were just talking to me, like, trying to keep me calm. My surgery was supposed to be for 8 o'clock. I'm just watching the time go by. 7:58, 7:59. And then 8 o'clock hits and then nobody comes. I'm hoping maybe they just said, okay, we'll do it tomorrow. A guy comes, grabs my bed, and then he takes me into a room. And in the room is a whole bunch of doctors, nurses. It's pretty much what you would see on a TV show. One thing that stuck out to me, the room was super cold. So then they put me on the operating bed. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. And then boom, I'm out. I found out afterwards the surgery was 8 hours long. And then it was weird because I remember waking up one day and then when I woke up, like I couldn't breathe. I was like, holy, like, and then the nurse pushed me back down and then she's like, she put a tube down my throat and that was to take out the mucus because apparently I've been in a coma for like a day or two. So like the whole time I had a breathing tube in me. I'll post pics in this too. So she put the tube down to take out anything like any mucus or anything, and when finally she did that, I was able to breathe. That's when like my whole body was like in crazy amount of pain. Like it was like I couldn't believe how much pain. Like going through it before this, like your mind is preparing you for the surgery. You're not really thinking about afterwards. So it was crazy. Like I remember being in so much pain. Like at this point, they're pumping me with pain medicine. Every couple hours they would give it to me. And I didn't even want to look at my chest because that's where they stitched up the whole, it was like from here to here. They stitched up the whole thing. Like I didn't even want to look at it. That's how, like I knew it would have been crazy to look at. But I was in so much pus. I'm pretty big, I'm 6'4", so the beds are not meant for people who are 6'4". So my feet was like squished up into the edge. Honestly, like it was the worst sleep I've ever had in my life. Like anybody who knows me knows I love to sleep. I couldn't even sleep more than 3-4 hours. Every 3-4 hours I'm waking up from the pain, or the bed wasn't even comfortable. Like at this point it was torture. They're pumping me with pain medicine. I'm barely even awake. The pain medicine they're giving me is pretty much knocking me out the whole day. Like I remember waking up, I wasn't even able to talk. That's how crazy the pain meds were. One of my best friend, he came through. I remember looking at him, trying to say something, and then knocking back to sleep. Like that's how crazy it was. And I did it like 3-4 times, and I can see him looking at me and smiling, but I'm like, holy, like I can't even say nothing. Like, eventually, a couple of days or so later, I found out they were giving me some like morphine pills. I'm like, yo, don't give me that no more. Like I can't even function. I told them stop giving me that, give me like some regular painkillers. So they started giving me extra strength Tylenol. But the crazy part with the Tylenol, it would like make me sweat like crazy, and then the pain would go away, and it would only work an hour or two. So I'd have to take them like every couple hours. So like in between those hours of not being able to take them, it was just crazy pain. Imagine like, so like even to stretch, you couldn't even do it. But to cough, it would hurt. So I was like, it was just excruciating pain. I couldn't even eat. I was just, you know, just at this point, just trying to survive. The thing I did promise myself, if I make it out of this, I will start my channel again. I will pump out videos again. I will do what I can, because at this point, I'm on this earth for a reason. Like, that's like, you know, in that room, like you have a lot of time to think. But like, you know, I thought like if I'm here for a reason, to make people laugh. You know, whatever the reason is, I'm here. I made it out. Like I was pretty much back to normal by January. But before that, I couldn't even walk. Like to walk like 20 feet, my heart would go up to 130 beats per minute. So they wouldn't even allow me to walk much because my heart was going crazy. But that was because of obviously the surgery. I lost like, I think it was 40 pounds. When I was in the hospital, I lost all my muscle. I wasn't even able to pick up like a 10-pound weight. Like that's how heavy it was. I fought through that. I started going to the gym with my friend. We'd go quite a bit. So I built up everything back again, if not more, I want to say. Yeah, that was just a crazy story I had. Just don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Share this with your friends, because I will be going off. If I can get 20 likes, I'll post my DNA. I did a 23andMe. I'm gonna get the result. I got the results, but I'll wait to do a video for that. So if I can get 20 likes on this, I'll make that video. So yeah, so just comment, rate, subscribe.